Hello, and welcome to English for Everyone, where we practice real-life American English. Today we're going to learn to avoid some common mistakes with some confusing vocabulary. So let's get started. This week, one of my students made a mistake with these two words because they look very similar, but they're different. Let's take a closer look. The first word is aboard, and the second word is abroad. They're different. Let's look at the first word. Aboard. Use the or sound like floor and more, plus the D at the end. Aboard. The A is pronounced as a schwa. Aboard. Put the stress on the second syllable. It comes from a verb, to board. Example, the passengers need to board the plane. They need to get on the plane. We use the verb board. They need to board the plane. And now they are aboard the plane. This is the adjective. The passengers are aboard the plane. They're on the plane. That's what it means. Let's practice. Do the passengers need to board the plane? That's right. The passengers need to board the plane. And now, are all the passengers aboard the plane? That's right. All the passengers are aboard the plane. They're on the plane. That's what it means. Now let's practice with this word, abroad. The first syllable is not stressed, so we use a schwa, abroad. And the OA is special here. It makes the aw sound like on and off. Aw, abroad. And it's an adjective too, but it means outside the country. Example, he's studying abroad. He's studying in a different country, not the country where he's from, a different country. Let's practice. Is he studying abroad? That's right, he's studying abroad. So, like I said, this word is special, abroad. Normally when we see OA together, it makes the long O sound, like road, coat, and boat. This is the rule. This is how OA is normally pronounced, with a long O. Again, road, coat, and boat. O. Use the long O. But abroad is different. You have OA making a different sound. It makes a sound aw, like on, off, call, and ball. Aw, abroad. So keep watching to learn and practice more words, more special words like this, where you have OA making a different sound. Today we're going to learn a very special word, a very unique word. So let's get started. Before we learn our very special word, let's look at a spelling and pronunciation rule. When you have OA together, it always makes the O sound. That's the long O like go and no. O. OA together makes the long O. Example, road, coat, and many, many other words, except this word. This is broad. The OA does not make the long O like it's supposed to. It makes the sound aw. Aw, like ball and call and auto. Aw, broad. It's the only word that I've seen that breaks this rule. If you find another one, let me know. This is the only one I can find. That makes it very, very special. But we use it in a few different ways. Let's take a closer look. First, broad is an adjective. It's a description. It means similar to wide, the opposite of narrow. Example, men usually have broad shoulders. They don't have narrow shoulders. Men usually have broad shoulders. Let's practice. Does he have broad shoulders? That's right, he has broad shoulders. We also use broad for Broadway. Broadway is a famous street in New York where they have a lot of big, famous theaters. Broadway. I have never seen a play on Broadway. Have you ever seen a play on Broadway? Very good. Also, we have this word, broadcast. Broadcast is a verb. It means to transmit a signal. Broadcast in the present and in the past, it's the same. broadcast. So I can say, the game was broadcast live. That means the moment the game was happening, people were watching it on TV at the same time, live. The game was broadcast live. Let's practice. Was the game broadcast live? That's right, the game was broadcast live. And we can change the adjective broad into a verb with en. Broaden. Pronunciation, not broaden, but broaden, broaden. You do a stop D, you put the tongue up, broad, and you fall to an N. Broaden. Broaden is a verb. It means to make broad, to make wide. Example, broaden your horizons. You need to broaden your horizons. It means to expand your interests, expand your activities, expand your knowledge. It's a good thing. I think everybody should broaden their horizons. What do you think? Do you think everybody should broaden their horizons? That's right. Everybody should broaden their horizons. So the word broad is a special word because it breaks the rule. And what is the most important thing is that we know the rule. OA makes the long O sound. Almost always. Remember, road, coat, goat. But broad is special. It does not make the long O sound. It has a different pronunciation. Broad, Broadway, broadcast, and broaden are all pronounced with the aw sound, like on and off. Aw. Today we're going to take a look at some viewer responses. So let's get started. We recently did a video on the pronunciation of OA, and the rule is OA together makes the long O sound, like road and coat. And we talked about the exception, broad, and its other variations like Broadway, broadcast, and broaden. And I asked you, the viewers, if you knew of any other exceptions, and I got some great responses. So let's take a closer look. My favorite one is this one, abroad. It describes when you leave the country, when you go to a different country. You are abroad. Pronunciation, the stress is on the second syllable, abroad, and it sounds like broad. It's like Broadway and broadcast and broaden. Same sound. It's the aw sound like ball and call. Abroad. The first syllable is relaxed, so it's a short sound, like cup and up. Abroad. Example, you can travel abroad or you can study abroad. He wants to study abroad. Let's practice. Does he want to study abroad? That's right, he wants to study abroad. Our next word is oasis. This pronunciation is very different. Away. You have two syllables. With OA, it's split and you have two syllables. Away. Oasis. The stress is on the second syllable. A. Oasis. Oasis. The O is pronounced with a long O, like go and no. The A is pronounced like a long A, like say and pay. Together, away. When you link these two vowels, you have a w sound in the middle, like a W, w in the middle. Away. Oasis. Both S's are pronounced like true S's, s, no vibration. Oasis. And the I is a short I, like this is I. Oasis. Oasis is countable. So I say an oasis. This is an oasis. An oasis is a place with water in the desert. Let's practice. Is this an oasis? That's right, this is an oasis. Our next word is koala. This is a koala bear. Officially, that's not correct. Officially, you're supposed to say just koala, not bear. This is a koala, but people say both. Pronunciation, koala, koala. The O is pronounced with the long O, like no and go, ko. The A is pronounced with the short ah sound, like hot and stop, koa, koala. The last A is pronounced with the relaxed sound, like cup and up, koala, koala. When we link the O and the ah, koa, we have the w sound in the middle, koa, linking the sounds like a W sound, koa, koala. This is a koala, and koalas are from Australia, and koalas love to eat eucalyptus leaves. Let's practice. Where are koalas from? That's right, koalas are from Australia. And what do koalas love to eat? That's right, koalas love to eat eucalyptus leaves. Pronunciation, eucalyptus. Yeah, koala bears love to eat eucalyptus leaves. Our next word is doable. Doable is an adjective. It describes something that you can do, something that is possible. Doable is the opposite of impossible. If it's doable, we can do it. If it's impossible, we cannot do it. They're opposite. Pronunciation, doable. Doable. The stress is on the first syllable. Do. Use the long oo sound like moon and soon. Do. Dua. The A after the O is pronounced with the short sound, like cup and up. Dua. Dua. When you link these two vowels, you have like a W sound in the middle, linking the vowels. Dua. Dua. Doable. Doable. Something you can do is doable. Example, I have about $200. I have a couple $100, and finding a new bicycle is doable. It's very doable. With $200, I can find a new bicycle. So finding a new bicycle with a couple $100 is doable. But finding a new motorcycle with a couple $100, that's not doable. That's impossible. So I guess I'm buying a bicycle because finding a bicycle with a couple $100 is doable. Let's practice. Is finding a new bicycle with a couple $100 doable? That's right. Finding a new bicycle for a couple $100 is doable. There's one more thing I wanted to talk about. When I have OA plus R, it makes the OR sound. But I don't think of this as an exception to the rule. This is more like a pattern. OAR makes the OR sound. It's a pattern that makes the OR sound, like floor and more. Examples, course and bore. So remember these exceptions. They have OA together, but they do not make the long O sound, which is the rule. They all have different pronunciations. You have to look at each one separately. So if you need to practice more, watch the video again. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. And if you want to become a member, click the join button. We'll see you next time.